Liverpool fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai, and tonight we play West Ham at Anfield in EFL Carabao Cup. Now this is going to be a very fun one because our second string, those waiting in reserve, those are chomping at the bit to get their name on the team sheet and show what they can do. We're talking about Wataru Endo, Curtis Jones, would have been Harvey Elliott as well, but Federico Chiesa is due to start and I cannot wait. So without further ado, let's go into the build-up and the predicted lineups for Liverpool versus West Ham. So I think Lopetegui will line up at Anfield with his classic 4-2-3-1, keep it tight in the middle. I think Fabianski, they're coming here to win, they want to cause an upset, right? So probably be Fabianski, Kufau, Todibo, I guess, Cresswell, Killman. So let's get some names in there. Cresswell, I think they'll go pretty strong. They might see an opportunity to see if they can knock us out of the cup. Of course, I think we do have West Ham's number in particular when the name gets drawn out of the hat, especially at Anfield as well. I know we had to come back in that Gerrard final 3-3 with that Konchesky looped goal. My goodness, with Gerrard won the goal last kick of the game. But overall, I think we are pretty set in our ways in the slot machine style of play. Probably Solar, I guess. Bowen cutting in from the right wing. Could be a false 9 as well. Would I play Kudus, Somerville, Antonio? I think Antonio, for the pace, traditionally does cause a bit of problems running in. Mohamed Kudus behind the front man, a wild card. They'll see how it goes for the first half before bringing the changes. And Crescenzio, Somerville will probably line up there. Now they will keep it tight. Souček and Solar, Kudus off Antonio being a wild man. Jared Bowen cutting it in as well. Max Killman and Cresswell in half spaces. They can congest the area, really keep it as tight as possible and really force us to play. I think Somerville will play in between the lines in this kind of position. Kudus will hang off in the off space with Antonio drifting into the whips as well. And if he drifts into the whips, gives Bowen a chance in the half space like a Mo Salah. We have to be careful with Jared Bowen because he's always got in the prominent positions. He scored that header last time. He can score with the right foot as well, and Kudus is obviously the wild card, so we need to be careful of what they're aiming to do. But ultimately I think it's going to be a block of players with the congested 2 there. On occasion I expect Bowen to track back and Somerville to drop in as well, and they might play more of this shape here. It's very similar to the Milan Christmas tree where you have your 2 and your 3, but ultimately I think they're going to rely on the pace of Antonio to stretch our defence, Somerville and Bowen working a piece of magic, and Kudus roaming into the half spaces and the pockets to try to cause us problems. But it's going to be very difficult to break through these gaps, but I do think this is a particular game where Federico Chiesa can break the lines with penetrating runs, run straight at Todibo as well, Kufau as well. I think Cresswell is probably the more solid of the 2. West Ham will be very workmanlike, work the channels, work the whips, try to set the traps as well. But ultimately they're going to struggle to control the midfield. I think in front of their midfield, this kind of area here, they're going to struggle to control the ball. And I don't particularly see Kudus contributing huge amount in the defensive play, but Antonio will be working back and trying his best as well. But we ultimately know how West Ham are going to play. I don't think they're going to play too many youngsters here. It'll more or less be a full strength team, and we'll see how they cope at Anfield in front of the rapturous crowd. But on to Liverpool. Alrighty, so Liverpool will more or less line up with a 4-2-3-1 in transition 4-3-3 as well. Probably a staggered 4-3, more like that kind of shape. So straight away, there won't be 11 changes. Obviously, there won't be 11 changes because Queeve Kelleher has been confirmed to start by the shiny one. Up the shiny one, Arne Slot. He needs to progress in the cup competitions regardless of who he faces because it gives the extended squad a chance to stretch their legs and get some match practice in. So obviously, Kelleher starts in here. I think you have to start Conor Bradley. When you have such a talent like Conor Bradley, I know he's behind Trent Alexander-Arnold, world-class player, itching for that new contract to be signed as well, but Conor Bradley is absolutely immense. But it's about the partnerships and the relationships and what they would have trained in training. Now there is a world where Virgil van Dijk starts this because of the fact that you need to get through the round. You need his captain ability, you need his leadership, but at the same time we have 4 capable centre-backs, and I think Jarell Quansah starts this particular game. Now there's two variants here, right? Jarell Quansah will definitely start this game because he started the first Premier League match, which means Arne Slot thinks he's ready for first team contributions. He made a mistake, he won't make that mistake again. He is willing to learn, he's a great kid, great attitude as well. The 2 combinations possible here are Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez left back. Now Joe Gomez left back is a very, very interesting one for me for the fact that Jarrod Bowen, left footed, cuts him from the right hand side. Now when you play Alvaro Arbeloa against Lionel Messi, it's the same kind of concept. Joe Gomez trying to mark Jarrod Bowen out of the game is a very, very interesting ploy. I would personally play Joe Gomez left back and Virgil van Dijk here because I just want to get through the cup. However, it could be Joe Gomez centre back and Kostas Tsimikas left back. But Kostas Tsimikas did start, right? He did start against AC Milan. So it's very, very touch and go whether it's Tsimikas and Joe Gomez or whether it's Van Dijk and Joe Gomez here. Either way, Joe Gomez starts. Now, you have two left backs. You have Robertson and Kostas Tsimikas. Robertson played the league. Kostas Tsimikas played the Champions League. You trust your left backs to do the job. But Joe Gomez is also needing to find a place in this back line, right? He's behind Conor Bradley and Trent on the right. He's one of the 4 defenders since we only went into the season with 4 defenders. So with that in mind, I think Gomez has to come in. Now when Gomez comes in here, Quanta has shown aptitude to play on the left as well. But when he's on the right hand side, he's getting a lot of the ball. Gomez is trusted to pivot into the 6th position as well. So ultimately we're very, very interesting. And who is the one to cover for Bradley bombing up and down? I think it very well could be Gomez on the right hand side and Quanta on the left hand side because of the fact that Bradley takes up this position here. And Gomez is a great width defender because he can cover the fullback as well. And Quanta doing the Van Dijk distribution of the ball. Which means, ultimately, the Scouse Greek, Kostas Tsimikas, starts on the left for his whip delivery on the left-hand side as well. So I'm going with that lineup for now, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Van Dijk and Gomez on the left. Now, Wataru Man-Mountain Endo comes straight in because he's been utilised by Arne Slot. He's in Arne Slot's plans because he's been utilised to close out the games. They've been trusting him. If he was not part of the plans, they wouldn't even involve him. They wouldn't pay him the appearance fee because that is a thing, by the way. When you come on the pitch, you get your appearance fee, your bonus. So Wataru Endo will be trusted to hold in front of the back line, and that's very, very important because if Mohamed Kudus runs through the lines, you're going to want Wataru Endo to be tracking him everywhere. If Somerville drops in, if Bowen drops in, it's going to be Endo coordinating the press and the trap zones to make sure that these containment zones are well herded in terms of looking out for the opposition threat and the breaks as well. So Wataru Man-Mountain Endo, and obviously Curtis Jones comes in. So whether Curtis Jones comes in the more advanced role, roaming into 10 position, or whether he goes in between the lines and dropping into the 2 pivots, depends on the player that plays with Wataru Endo. Now, does he show a big show of faith in Tyler Morton? But Tyler Morton was with the under-21s as well. So even if he plays, I don't think he'll play the whole game. But there could be Tyler Morton as a pseudo Zubamendi, because Tyler Morton in our squad is the most similar to Martin Zubamendi in terms of tempo maestro, receiving the ball, a metronome, pinging the ball around, taking control of the game and roaming into the 6th position as well. If it's Tyler Morton, then Curtis Jones plays in his higher position. If it's Dominic Szoboszlai, then I think Szoboszlai continues the 10 position because he's well versed in that and he's a bigger goal threat than Curtis Jones, and he can run the laterals up and down as well. And Curtis Jones is withdrawn into a more holding role, the McAllister role, in between the lines and dropping into 6 as well. I think West Ham Premier League opponent is probably going to be Curtis Jones deeper and Dominic Szoboszlai here. And Szoboszlai won't play the full match. He was taken off in the last match, so that might be an indication that he starts this particular game. I don't think Alexis McAllister or Gravenberch will start this game. They've played and run themselves into the ground already. But there could be an opportunity for Troy Ignoni, you know. So if Curtis Jones is promised the 10 role and to make things happen further up front, then Troy Ignoni could be sitting alongside Wataru Endo. But once again, he's only just turned 17. He's pretty young. His time will come. Very exciting talent. He's got the world at his feet. And if you think Gravenberch is an uber talent at 22 years old, then Troy Ignoni can follow in his footsteps, and that could be the midfield, dream midfield for years and years to come. Now, this is the man everyone wants to see, right? Mohamed Salah won't start the cup game because it'll be Federico Chiesa. Chiesa. He'll be running like a madman, running straight at Cresswell, trying to take him out, cutting on the inside, direct running like a raging bull, Italian, you know, not Barini, knife in the mouth kind of thing. But he'll be getting in and amongst the action, hoping to score a goal. Obviously, that shot hit the post, but it's a good sign of things to come. And working with Szoboszlai at least gives him that connection with the first team action. So he is a prominent player running behind the lines as well into that lateral because of the fact that his pace and his directness and his technique and techers and first touch is all very, very well versed as well. So he could be a great option here. Now, I think Cody Gakpo starts up front or on the left. So I think Gakpo starts on the left in place of Lucho Diaz. Lucho Diaz is our goal king at the moment, metric goal scorer in place of Mo Salah. The formation and slot ball is well suited for Chiesa and Gakpo to cut inside and shoot. But the beautiful thing about Chiesa is he's so good at going around the outside as well, making things happen from this position. So Szoboszlai can thread him through or be a Bradley ball around the outside as well. But similar to Gakpo, you can't stop Gakpo running into the half space position. Now, this is going to be interesting because if this is the lineup, Tsimikas stays in this position because he can whip a gorgeous ball in behind, which means Jones will be tasked with overlapping Gakpo, which allows Gakpo to come in here and do the job there. Jones is predominantly very good in a whip position. He's not a great crosser of the ball. He's not a silky, mercurial, speedy dribbler who'll take the man on, but he holds the width and he's an intelligent player and he'll recycle and get the ball into players into prompt positions. Now, who is going to lead the front? So Nunes scored that wonder goal against Bournemouth. However, Nunes has also been told by Arne Slot that he will have a part to play in this game, but Diogo Jota sitting on the bench is almost too good to leave out. Now, with intelligent running, with Chiesa on the pitch, I think you go with Diogo Jota starting up front for the fact that he's an extra playmaker between the lines as well. What that means is Jota has the penchant to play in the whole 10 Mazzala zone and drop in deep and thread the ball in for Gakpo to run in behind, because Gakpo has shown a penchant for running further in behind as the season's gone on, and under slot ball as well. And Jota can feed in that lateral ball to Chiesa to shoot with the left and shoot with the right, because he is 2-footed as well. And Jota can run his own verticals, being fed in and lay it back for Szoboszlai, or cross to Gakpo, or on the other side, cross to Chiesa in the penalty spot. Bradley, we know, will be bombing up and down, and this will be a very interesting dynamic, because if Gomez is the width defender and Endo is the cover player, the intelligent shadow, Tsimikas in the half space, almost in the quarterback role, and Jones roaming and Szoboszlai roaming here, right? The movement of a Gakpo, a Jota and a Chiesa should allow for lots and lots of space for Conor Bradley. Now, Conor Bradley, rather than Tsimikas, because Tsimikas is a dead ball specialist and a crossing specialist as opposed to a runner, but Bradley is your 1-2 runner, so he can really hold the width with Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai returns the ball and Bradley, in you go, in and behind, and so often than not you find Bradley in this penalty area positions. He always finds himself in there, which means that you can overload the penalty area, the penalty spot and the back post, and hope he does something as he usually does, where there's running post, hitting it across, pulling it back, etc. So Bradley should be given free reign on this side, facilitated by Szoboszlai holding the 10 position, or Chiesa holding 10 position, Szoboszlai playing the 1-2s, and one of the two will make the overlapping run, because Bradley is also very, very good at underlapping and playmaking from this position. You need to watch him play in terms of his game intelligence. He has the penchant to play outside, around the outside, in the half space position as well, and transitional right midfield as well. Bradley is an immense talent, and my goodness, we're spoilt for choice in the right back position. So let's just reset for a second and see how they can transition on the defense as well, and what they need to do. So Chiesa starting out wide. I'm just going to erase some of this good stuff right here. Let's just clear up some of this spaghetti noodle. Right here, I'm all about the egg noodle, by the way. Chicken chow mein, yakisoba, it's all good. I don't discriminate. Noodles and men, chow mein, pho, rice noodles, all good. I love my noodles more than rice. Is that taboo? I don't know, but I'm nice. Okay, so on the transition as well, we know that Endo's going to drop into the bottom, but Jones could very well stop in to the bottom and form the diamond at the back to say, come on, play through us, play for us. The containment zones are obviously in the whips, because Arne Slot forces him in whips. Nothing comes through the centre as well, and Chiesa is a hard worker, so he'll press from behind. So will Gakpo, and we know Jota leads from the front in terms of pressing. We know that they go in a staggered press, so if Jota is pressing the player here, then Szoboszlai is in this place and Chiesa is in this place for the square as well. Where's the space? The space is on the right hand side here, which means that these guys step up, because if the ball is in that position, everyone can step up and invert like a fulcrum, like a ship, steered towards that direction, and you press them in and you pen them in. Jota leading the press means that we've got a good opportunity to turn over the ball, because he is the leader of our forwards in terms of leading the press. Chiesa will be very interesting to see how well adjusted he gets into the press as well, but don't be surprised if Jones and Szoboszlai alternate the deep line position and the forward position as well, because Jones does like to run and Szoboszlai has running power from deep as well. But the thing with this particular lineup, I would say, in comparison to our usual lineup, is I think this lineup is really, really keen to impress. Rather than Gravenberch breaking the lines with a lateral pass and run, not quite Endo's game, but Endo will play the simple balls, and when he gets into advanced position to play the line breaking ball into an 8, that's what he'll be looking to do. He'll be looking to keep it simple, pass back, Quanta go into the void in there, covered by Gomez, until there's a probing chance in and around the centre circle, our side of the centre circle, to penetrate the ball into an 8, because he's quite good at that little penetrative ball. Doesn't need to play the long balls. The long ball game is more Tsimikas, more Quanta, more Van Dijk. This is going to be more of a short ball playing game, and we don't even have Gravenberch at the bench to play it. Szoboszlai can play a long ball, but once again, it's not particularly his game as well. So in the absence of Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister, don't be surprised to see Arne Slot Machine play proper short passing tiki-taka, a different variant, a different style, and especially when you got Curtis Jones, a roaming playmaker, right? A roaming playmaker. In the front areas is a Romdeuter, in the back areas I almost hesitate to say trequartista, but he's a roaming ball player, a roaming baller, in which case he'll move and want the ball, move and want the ball, move and progress through the lines, and eventually, hopefully, with an overlapping run, find himself in this position as well, because Curtis Jones in the front areas is quite useful. Now, for official predictions, because West Ham do have the pace, it's a cup game, this is more or less a second string team, but it's not complete replacements, because Szoboszlai will play until half-time, at least I'd imagine. Jota is pretty much first team. Chiesa has the potential to get there. Jones is on the periphery. Gakpo can more or less play first team as well. And Quanta started the Premier League game. I think I'm going with 2-1. I think it'll be 2-1 to Liverpool. Don't be surprised if West Ham score. West Ham will play a strong team. They have a lot of attacking threat. Antonio on his day is a nightmare and trouble for anyone. Mohamed Kudus is a wild card and hard to contain as well. Jared Bowen can always score. Silky player. I love Jared Bowen. Quality player. West Ham under Lopetegui, disciplined, can gest the midfield, have the passing identity and lines to get their players into those places. Kind of like Pep Guardiola. He gets them into position and says, Kudus, Bowen, Antonio, off you go. See what you can do in a position that I've got you to. So yeah, they can play, they can ball, but ultimately the score will be 2-1 to Liverpool. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my score prediction. If you agree with the lineup, I think the major talking points will be Szoboszlai, Morton or Nyoni. But because Morton was under 21s and Nyoni is still young and we're against a Premier League team, I think you start with Szoboszlai, and whether it's Joe Gomez on the left and Van Dijk here, in which case Quanta is on the right hand side, or whether Joe Gomez is trusted in the middle. But because we've gone in with 4 centre backs this season and 2 legitimate left backs, Tsimikas and Robertson, not saying Gomez isn't legit, because he is legit, but you'd probably see Gomez in the centre back position. But if he's the strategist, if he's the ultimate take each game at a time and judge it on its own merits, then Joe Gomez goes left back for Jared Bowen, which means that Virgil van Dijk comes in for Costa Tsimikas. I'd be hugely surprised if Wataru Endo and Curtis Jones don't start, and I think Chiesa is going to start on the right hand side as well. Harvey Elliott would have started for sure, but unfortunately he's injured, and it is a toss up between Diogo Jota and Nunes, because Jota is amazing off the bench and Darwin Nunes is in good goal scoring form, but I think Jota starts because he leads the press as well and he can play make between the lines, which gives an opportunity like a Firmino for Chiesa to make those diagonal runs and Gakpo to make the diagonal runs as well. And we know that they can shoot. They have real shooting power in this team and lineup as well. So don't be surprised sometimes if you see this kind of formation, which is a 4-4-2 diamond, which I play with Lucha FC. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Smash a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Lots of quality content coming up. Mamacita Maimi did the next translation of Wataru Endo's chapter, coming very soon. In fact, it might be released tonight if I got time. Otherwise, it'll be released tomorrow as well. I've got beautiful new cinematics for the player ratings. Check it out after the game. Hopefully it's a positive one as well. Fingers crossed. Miyazaki man, Ichiban, it means the best. And speaking of the best, the Liverpool fan in Japan community, we've grown the Discord. We've opened up the forum style. You can talk about Nunes, Szoboszlai, matchday, fantasy football, talk about everything. Join the Discord in the QR code. Thank you so much, Deus Virtualis, the newest Liverpool fan in Japan member. Enjoy this exclusive video coming out very soon of my translating the Wataru Endo book.
Yeah, in Japanese. So if I translate this one, it says not accepting the position that you got placed.
That's going to be quite a spicy chapter. Not accepting the position you got placed. Wataru Endo reveals all. Tune in. Member section coming very soon. Speaking of which, I need to reward myself. Got a cheeky little ensemble here. I think this is one of the away shirts. I see the grey strip. I see the black strip as well. I think I know which kit this is. Let's have a looky what we got here. This is one of the away tops. Yep, the grey and the black. I had a feeling it's a Warrior kit as well. Standard chartered LFC. I love the Warrior kits. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Joining the Liverpool Fan in Japan membership is the best way to support the channel. Really helps us out. Domo arigato minasan. Really appreciate it as well. And I've had some feedback in the last video as well. Hopefully there is not much negatives in the performance. Liverpool versus West Ham. Unfortunately, I can't live stream it past my bedtime. I think it kicks off at 4 AM. However, yeah, I'm going to really enjoy watching the match back because I can watch the full replay, so I'll watch it tomorrow morning as well. I'll give my feedback, I'll give the player ratings, new exclusive player rating animations coming up. I look forward to that as well. And as I said, in terms of the feedback, constructive criticism, people would like to know the negatives and the bad points, even in a good performance. So yeah, I'll try to incorporate that as well. See, I do listen to you guys. Alright, until next time, Jan Miyazaki Man Ichiban, Miyazaki Gan, the army is growing. Until next time, hit my music. Jan, take care. Means peace.
Liverpool fan in Japan.